and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. I want to start off by thanking Kristi over at Planning Us Healthy for inviting me to be a part of this collaboration. Today, myself, Kristi, and all the ladies that are linked below in the description box will be making our favorite barbecue recipes for you. Whether it be a main dish, a side dish, or a dessert, you will be getting everyone's favorite recipe for a cookout or barbecue. Today I will be making a mozzarella, corn, tomato, and basil salad. It is one of my absolute favorite recipes. I stumbled across it last summer, and I must have made it over a dozen times to take to parties or to just have at home as a side dish. I can't even tell you how many times I've given out this recipe. Everyone loves it. It's quick, it's easy, it's light, it's low point, and it is absolutely delicious. So I will get started to show you how I make this. And don't forget, after you're done watching me, check out all those ladies in the description box below. Now let's get this salad started. Salad, we will need some kosher salt and black pepper, a mason jar to mix everything in, a 1/4 cup of fresh squeezed lemon juice, some minced garlic, some olive oil, and that will be the dressing for our salad. And then in this bowl, I have 12 ears of fresh corn that I cooked for just about 5 to 6 minutes and then removed from the cob. You could absolutely use frozen or canned corn for this, but we live in Jersey and there is nothing like Jersey fresh corn in the summer. So we always choose to use fresh, and that is about a dozen ears. You're also going to need 10 leaves of basil, and you cut it in a in a chiffonade, and I will show you how to do that with the rest of my basil. 4 ounces of fresh mozzarella cut into little pieces, and 1 dry pint of grape tomatoes quartered. They are all the ingredients you will need, and now we will start putting the salad together. So the first thing we're going to do, and like I said, this is absolutely so simple. We're going to add our tomatoes right to our corn and mix those well. Probably should have used a bigger bowl. I like to use a glass bowl when I do cook with me so everybody can see exactly what's going on from all the angles. I think I need to invest in a bigger glass bowl. And then we are going to add in the mozzarella. I'm going to add half at a time and get it nice and mixed in. The original recipe called for a lot more mozzarella than this, but I thought it was a good way to cut the points by not putting a lot in, but still give that flavor. And it's a nice little surprise when you get a chunk of mozzarella there. And that's the great thing about these recipes. You can add or subtract things to make them whatever point value you want them to be, depending on how many points you have left for the day or how many points you choose to spend. Next, we are going to add in the basil. But I thought I would quickly show you how to cut it in case you've never heard of it. Thanks to Redrum and the Pioneer Woman, I learned how to do this. What you do is you take your basil leaves, lay them on top of each other, and then roll them tightly. And then you just take your knife and slice them. Nice and thin. And what you end up with are nice pretty ribbons of basil. And unlike chopping them, they don't get those little black edges on them. So there we go. So now we are just going to take the basil. I'll do half at a time again, just so it can get nice and incorporated. And then the other half, and just mix it all in. And then we're going to put that aside as we start on the dressing. So for the dressing, we're going to take a mason jar, add 1/4 cup of fresh squeezed lemon juice, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, two teaspoons of minced garlic, a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, and a 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. Put it in the jar and just mix, mix, mix. Now, if you're serving this right away, you can absolutely put it on and be good to go. If you're making this early in the morning and not serving it until later on, I would keep it in the jar and wait until probably about an hour or so before you're going to serve it to dress it. And then I'm just going to dump about half of it on and just give it a really, really good stir. It's just such a nice light dressing. You really get that nice flavor from the lemon. And it's not too greasy at all because you don't use a ton of olive oil. Making sure I get all that garlic out of there. So just really, really give it a good stir. And then make sure right before you serve the salad, you give it another really good stir. Just to make sure the dressing doesn't sink to the bottom of the bowl. And everything gets nice and coated with it. Make sure you refrigerate it so it's nice and chilled before you serve it. And there you go. You couldn't ask for a better taste of summer than this salad. Quick, easy, and absolutely delicious. You can garnish it with some fresh basil leaves on top, some whole basil leaves, make it look pretty before you serve it. And I think it looks beautiful served in a glass bowl because of all the beautiful colors. So there you have it. The corn, tomato, basil, mozzarella salad. So there is the finished tomato, basil, corn, and mozzarella salad. And yes, I know every time I say the name, I mix up the ingredients. It comes out, it makes 16 cups, and it comes out to 1 Freestyle Smart Point per 1/2 cup servings. You can add more mozzarella if you want, something that's a little higher point. You can add more dressing if you'd like it a little more dressingier, but I like it nice and light like this. This is, how I developed it last summer, and for us it is perfect. And like I said, for a 1/2 cup, it's only 1 Smart Point, so it is absolutely delicious. Since that recipe was so quick and easy, I decided to throw in a bonus recipe. Something else that I take to every picnic we get invited to are deviled eggs. And I take them because they are so low point. The way I make them, no one can tell that they are point friendly. They taste exactly like the ones I made prior to WW. 3 halves are 0 Smart Points. That's fantastic. I know I can have 3 beautiful deviled egg halves for 0 Smart Points, and that is always the first thing on my plate. So I will turn you around and show you how to make those. So generally when I make deviled eggs, I do 12 eggs and it makes 24 servings. I doubled it today because of the size of the picnic. So everything I'm telling you will be doubled. When I link the recipe below, it will only be for 24 servings, not 48. So just kind of keep that in mind. So what I did was I boiled the eggs in my Instant Pot, cut them in half, and put all the yolks in the mixing bowl. We're going to need some salt and pepper. We're going to need some light mayonnaise, some mustard, and some non-fat Greek yogurt. My recipe is very plain, very simple, nothing fancy about it, but I will show you how I do it. Sorry about that. As you heard, my son was letting me know he's running to the store to buy me a bag of lemons. He had no idea I was filming. It is such real life in my house when you live with 2 teenage boys and a husband and 2 dogs and a cat. You never know what you're gonna get. So the next thing I'm doing here is 6 tablespoons of light mayonnaise. And then we are going to do a 1/4 cup of yellow mustard. Some people like to use the Dijon mustard, but this is what my family prefers, the plain old yellow mustard. And sometimes, depending on the size of your yolks, if it's not creamy enough, I add another tablespoon or 2 of yogurt or a little squirt of mustard. You know, I try to stick to the 0 point things when adding. A little bit of salt and pepper. I'm gonna just give it a quick mix by hand, just so everything doesn't fly out when the mixer gets turned on. And then we are going to put it in the mixer and just let it go. So it's a nice, smooth and creamy consistency. Okay, so our filling is all nice and creamy, I hope. I hope there's no lumps in it because they get stuck. They get stuck in the piping bag if there's little lumps, but it does happen. So I'll just get some of the filling in the piping bag. For me, this is the easiest way to do it, especially if we're taking these somewhere. If I'm making just a few for home, I just plop them in with a spoon, but when I'm taking them somewhere, I like them to look nice. So I just throw them in the piping bag with a star tip and fill up my eggs. Quick and easy method. And they look a little prettier than just plopping them in with a spoon. I will show you the completed plate when it is all done. So when they're done, I like to top them with a little bit of paprika just for a pop of color. So I take my old tea ball. Yeah, it's all black because it's so stained with tea. And I just put the paprika in there, and then I can just tap it. And the paprika comes out nice and fine, nice thin layer, and quick and easy. So there you go. There are the deviled eggs, 3 halves, 0 points. That is a fabulous deal. They are absolutely delicious, and I cannot wait to dig in. So there you have it, the mozzarella, corn, basil, tomato salad, and deviled eggs. My absolute 2 favorite dishes to take to picnics and barbecues in the summer. I hope you enjoyed my recipes, and I hope you enjoyed my video. If you do, please check out the other videos I have. I do cook with me's, grocery hauls. I go on Wednesdays, I go over the meeting topic from my WW workshop the night before. What else do I do on my channel? I do day in the life, what I eat in the day, things like that. I don't do a lot of meal prep like our hostess Kristi does because I work from home. So I tend to just make different things each day for breakfast and lunch. So I don't do a whole lot of meal prep on my channel. Sometimes I do, but not very often. So check out my other videos, and if you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. Give this video a thumbs up. leave me a comment below and let me know what you think of these 2 recipes and if you think you're going to try them. And also, if you came from someone else's channel, leave it in the comments and let me know so I can be sure and thank them. So that is it. I just want once again to thank Kristi over at Planning Us Healthy for hosting this really, really fun collaboration. And I appreciate you thinking of me. And that's it. Have a fantastic day and a great summer.